Amid the dense forests of Central America, where time seems to stand still and nature still retains its pristine beauty from thousands of years ago, there are majestic structures reaching up to the sky, ancient pyramids, living proof of the intellect and deep faith of ancient civilizations. Unlike the sharp-tipped pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids of Central America have flat tops, large steps, and an architecture that stretches upward like a giant altar connecting humans with the divine. These structures are not only religious symbols, but also incredibly accurate astronomical machines, centers of power where sacred rituals, sometimes involving blood and tears, took place. On today's journey, I invite you to step into the world of lost civilizations, the Maya, Aztec, and Teotihuacan, to explore the most famous pyramids of Central America and the mysterious stories surrounding them. We begin in Yucatan, Mexico, where the Great Pyramid of Chichen Itza still stands tall after thousands of years withstanding winds and rains. This is one of the most prominent monuments of the ancient Maya civilization. The central pyramid here is called El Castillo, or the Temple of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god. Standing nearly 30 meters tall, El Castillo is an almost perfect structure with 91 steps on each side, plus one step at the top, totaling 365 steps, representing the number of days in a year. But what makes El Castillo globally famous is the miraculous phenomenon that occurs during each spring and autumn equinox. As the sun sets, the shadow of the steps forms the image of a giant snake slithering down from the top of the pyramid to the ground. It is not only an architectural wonder, but also proof of the highly advanced astronomical knowledge of the Maya. They not only understood the movement of celestial bodies, but were also able to calculate the exact days to turn light and shadow into a living religious ritual. The Maya believed that Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god, returned to Earth every year through sunlight. This scene not only attracts thousands of archaeologists and tourists, but also raises the question, how could a civilization without telescopes or modern machinery create such a magnificent structure? From Chichen Itza, we leave the Yucatan Peninsula and head to central Mexico, where an ancient, mysterious city, Teotihuacan, exists. No one knows exactly who built Teotihuacan. When the Aztecs discovered this city in the 14th century, they named it the place where humans become divine. And indeed, when stepping into this place, the first feeling is the smallness of humans in the face of such grand structures. The two largest pyramids in Teotihuacan are the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. The Pyramid of the Sun stands about 65 meters tall, with hundreds of stone steps leading to the top. It is one of the largest structures ever built in pre-Columbian America. Right next to it is the Pyramid of the Moon, located at the end of the main axis called Avenue of the Dead, the legendary road where sacrificial ceremonies, processions, and major spiritual events of the ancient inhabitants took place. Teotihuacan is a city with an incredibly sophisticated layout. Every building, every street, even each stone was placed precisely to align with astronomical phenomena. Important festivals were timed with solar eclipses, equinoxes, or constellations rising on the horizon. Teotihuacan was not just a place to live, it was a religious, political, and astronomical center where people sought to connect with the vast universe. Leaving Teotihuacan, we head south to Guatemala, to Tikal, an ancient city deep in the Piton jungle. Tikal was one of the largest centers of the Maya civilization and once served as the capital of a vast empire. The towers of Tikal are not sprawling like those of Teotihuacan but rise high, piercing the ancient forest like fairy tale spires. One of the most famous temples is Temple 4, standing over 70 meters tall, built in the 8th century. From the top of Tikal, visitors can see the sea of lush green trees stretching to the horizon, with only the spires of other temples rising like lonely islands. It is here that the ancients performed skyward rituals, connecting with ancestors, deities, and all living things. It was also from these pyramids that the Maya observed the movements of the sun, the moon, and planets to schedule planting, harvesting, and festivals. They even predicted solar eclipses, something that modern humanity could only achieve thousands of years later using astronomical tools. But the pyramids of Central America are not limited to the three locations mentioned above. Scattered across this land, from Honduras, Belize, to El Salvador, are hundreds of different pyramids, each with its own story, architectural style, and purpose. Some were built to honor the sun god, others for sacrificial ceremonies, and others solely for observing the stars. But they all share common traits: ingenuity, precision, and a deep, sacred belief in supernatural power. One of the greatest mysteries still unresolved is how the ancient Central Americans could transport millions of tons of stone, building pyramids dozens of meters high, without the use of wheels, machinery, or steel. Did they possess a construction technique that has been lost over time? Or were they truly assisted by a higher force, as many extraterrestrial hypotheses have suggested? Another fascinating fact is that the step pyramid with a flat-top symbol is almost non-existent in other parts of the world. It is a hallmark of Central American civilization, from the ancient Olmecs to the Zapotecs, Toltecs, Maya, and Aztecs. Some believe that this shape symbolizes the cosmic mountain, a place where humans can climb to get closer to the gods. Each step represents a stage in the journey of spiritual development, and when one reaches the top, they attain enlightenment and connect with the divine. Today, the pyramids of Central America are not only tourist destinations but also places of study for thousands of archaeologists, astronomers, and architects. Every year, new discoveries reshape our understanding of these lost civilizations. Some pyramids, long covered in moss, have only been discovered thanks to satellite images or ground-penetrating radar technology. Ancient hieroglyphic texts are still being deciphered, revealing the rituals, philosophies, and spiritual beliefs of the ancients. But perhaps the most amazing thing is the feeling of standing before a real pyramid. You don't just see stone and brick, you seem to hear the drums echoing from the past, the chanting of priests during ceremonies, and even the breath of a civilization that lived harmoniously with the heavens and the earth. The pyramids of Central America are a legacy of humanity, but they are also a message from the universe to humankind, that the connection between nature, the divine, and humanity always exists, if we are still enough to listen. And perhaps, amidst today's bustling modern world, when standing before an ancient pyramid covered in moss, we will find a part of ourselves, the part that once believed in miracles, once dreamed of touching the stars, and once looked up at the blue sky with a heart full of reverence. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the Great Pyramids of Central America. We hope that through these fascinating stories and knowledge, you've gained a glimpse of the mystery and wonder these structures bring. If you found this video useful and interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting videos. Please share this video with friends and family to discover even more fascinating mysteries from all around the world. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.